Diner. The last Wes Anderson film that I watched was Moonrise Kingdom. It's been a while. It's definitely been a while. There are films of his that I do want to see really badly, and I know there are great movies from him that I want to see for sure. He has a huge fan base, so I'm a little unsure about putting out this video. But I gotta be honest with my opinions. Now, Wes Anderson obviously has a style. I know the style having not even watched his movies, right? I think Moonrise Kingdom is the only movie of his I've actually seen, which, you know, I did enjoy. It was fun. That was a long time ago. There's about 3 or 4 of his movies I still really want to see, but I feel like for his films, obviously he's earned a lot of praise, and I think he deserves that, having not seen his films. I want to give the films the respect they deserve, you know. And by that, I mean, I need the perfect environment to watch his movies in. If they re-release them in theaters, I'll be there. But, you know, I need my sound bar and my subwoofers, the perfect spot on the couch, and, like, no distractions to watch these movies, I feel like. Because that's, you know, the attention they deserve. And, you know, they're also films I want to see. So if those go hand in hand, then if I missed them in theaters, which I was very busy, like 2014 to 2021, very, very busy with work and job and getting my life together to a point where it's like, okay, everything's good. So I missed a lot of films, and Wes Anderson is one of those that I missed. But like I said, he has a certain style, and as an outside observer, you know, I feel like I have a good sense of what his style is, having not seen the majority of his movies. And going into this, you get that same sort of style. Very, very like this. Huh. Very, cubicle, I guess I would say. But I do think it very much lends to comedy. There are a lot of points in this film that I'm like, huh, that's funny. Just because of the way that it's shot, just because of the way that's happening. I feel like most of this movie is a comedy. Now, like, are all his films comedy? I'm sure. The way that it's filmed, it has to be. It kind of feels like it's a newspaper strip in a way that it's just like panels. You're seeing a panel, another panel, another panel, and everything's meticulously designed and put there to, you know, evoke a certain feeling out of you. This is an expertly crafted film with great subtle comedy. Actually, it's kind of in your face because it's showing you. It's right there in the camera. But I had a hard time feeling like, where's the core of the story? And maybe this is something like, I've mentioned this, art is very subjective to the user. There's the intended interpretation by the artist, Wes Anderson, and then there's everybody else coming to view it. And everybody has different life experiences, everybody experiences different things, so when they watch this movie, it's like, you get something else out of it, and I just did not get anything out of the relationships in the movie, the core story, the financial schemes going on, the religious aspects, you know, there's a lot of that in there, but I feel it was just, I don't know, it didn't speak to me in a way. But yeah, and even the comedy, it was like chuckles in the head, you know, like, huh, that's funny, but not like laugh out loud moments. And you know, maybe it's just not for me. You can definitely appreciate like a director has his own style, and I will never say do a different style. And I don't think this movie needs a different style. I don't think shooting this in a different way would add anything. It actually would detract a lot from the film if it's shot like in a normal, you know, capacity. Although there were a few times like the camera's here and then like, you know, jump cuts a little back. There's a little maybe it's on purpose. I don't know. It's a little distracting, obviously. But I mean, Wes Anderson knows more than me. I mean, I'm here filming this, and he's here filming that. Yeah, I just don't know, like, emotionally, the core. With films like this, they gotta really speak to you as a person and the core ideas. And I do like, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, family meant more to him, even though his adopted children was kind of like, who cares? I just want the most out of them, right? Versus like, I wanna be with them, you know, I wanna take care of them, I wanna raise them. That's a good, you know, plot point of the film, and I think that really came across. But I just, yeah, I don't know. There's just so much going on, and financially getting all the percentages and doing all that and the gap. While I understood it, it was just a lot. It's kind of like going from a skit to a skit to a skit to a skit, and you know, trying to get to the point where you have a punchline and then not even like say the punchline. And I don't know if that's a common thing in Wes Anderson films. At some point, you got to say the punchline, right? At some point, you got to get a little bit of a satisfaction, at least once, at least by the end. Maybe it does by the end. Yeah, it probably does by the end. I really should have scripted this. I think before I watch another Wes Anderson film, I gotta watch Isle of Dogs. I gotta watch The Grand Budapest Hotel. I gotta watch The French Dispatch. I gotta watch the good ones, right? Before I can come in and be like, well, this wasn't really, I didn't, speak to me personally. So I mean, this film is probably not for me, and I think that's okay. I think it's okay if films don't speak to absolutely every single person. So I give this 2 out of 5 stars, personally. Like I said, I can't wait to see the rest of his works. I think at the end of the day, I mean, the reason I watched this movie was because of Michael Cera. I like him, I like his movies. And he had a pretty large part in this. I've been a fan of his for a long time. Weezer, one of my favorite bands. He's worked on one of the songs from Weezer. And I remember that. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. You actually, got to, play the mandolin, I think it was, on a Weezer album. Like, crazy, right? I felt like his part was also, I don't know, obvious? You can see it coming? Thanks for stopping by. You hear the haters louder than the people who like it. So, hopefully this video gets no views, or hopefully, people accept other people's opinions. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow.